Hi, it's Laura Wilson, and I'm bringing you another little reading session today. It's getting quite late. Just finished the gym, did a lovely body balance class Sunday night, which was really nice. In fact, I did body combat, so kind of boxing, fighting style, shadow boxing for an hour, and then body balance, which is like yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi afterwards. It's such a nice combo for a Sunday night. Intense cardio, and then relax and stretch. I've been doing it years, love it. Anyway, I'm bringing you a book today, which is one of my all-time favourite books. In fact, it is my favourite book. It's an all-time classic, and if you haven't read it, you need to go and read this book because it's amazing. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You've probably read it, right? If you're into business or any kind of personal development, you're bound to have read this book. I've read this book twice, and I've got the audio program, and I've listened to that 3 times probably, and I'm just about to reread this book for 2 reasons. Number one, it's December, it's coming up to New Year, so I think in order to get my mind kind of re-stimulated and just start a fresh year with a great attitude and a great way of thinking, I'm going to reread this. Also, my coach has told me to read certain chapters of this, so that's why I'm bringing you this book today. If you haven't read the book or don't know anything about it, a little bit of background. It's written by Napoleon Hill. It was written in, I think, like around the 20s or 30s, so it's pretty old, and it's based upon the life of Andrew Carnegie. Napoleon Hill studied this man's life and how he accumulated riches and how he became successful in his life, and documented it. And he studied many other very successful people. And now, don't be fooled. The book is called Think and Grow Rich, but it's not just about money. By all means, it shows you how to get rich financially. No question about that. In fact, old Brian Tracy, another one of my favourite authors, says here on the front cover, "This is the best single book on personal success ever written. It made me a millionaire starting from nothing." So this book has been responsible for creating more millionaires in the world than anything else, as the reputation goes. However, it's a book on, as Brian says, personal success. So it talks about being rich in all areas of life: health, relationships, family, career, fulfillment, in any way that you can be rich. It talks about, it's covered in this book. So I'll just tell you some of the chapters as a little kind of enticer, if you like. So he talks, this book is based a lot around the mind and the power of the mind and the subconscious mind and tapping into the superconscious of the universe, which sounds all a bit ethereal, but it's actually very, very practical, this book, and very science-based, very facts-based, and at the end of the day it works. So, okay, so the chapters, I'll read them out to you so you get a flavour of what's in this book. Number 1 is desire, the starting point for achievement. Faith, visualization and the belief in the attainment of desire. Chapter 3 is autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Number 4 is specialized knowledge. Chapter 5 is imagination, the workshop of the mind. Chapter 6, organized planning, the crystallization of desire into action. 7 is decision, the mastery of procrastination. Yeah, that's a killer, that one's. Persistence is chapter 8, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. Number 9 is power of the mastermind, the driving force. Number 10 is the mystery of sex transmutation. 11 is the subconscious mind, the connecting link. Number 12 is the brain, a broadcasting and receiving station of a thought. 13 is the sixth sense, the door to the temple of wisdom. And the epilogue is about fear, how to outwit the 6 ghosts of fear, an inventory of yourself. So it's a very thorough book, it's very comprehensive. If you're going to read one book this year, go and read this. It'll blow your mind. Now, I'm on chapter 10 at the moment, and I've come across an interesting little point. I'm not going to read a whole chapter, I'm just going to read a concept to you. Napoleon, what I like about this book, just quickly, is that it gives you like lots of like lists of things, like the 10 ways to overcome procrastination. Here we go. 4 ways how to develop persistence. So I'm just going to read this, okay, because we could all do with more persistence. How to develop persistence. There are 4 simple steps which lead to the habit of persistence. They call for no great amount of intelligence, no particular amount of education, and but little time or effort. The necessary steps are, number 1, a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment. Number 2, a definite plan expressed in continuous action. Number 3, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, including negative suggestions of relatives, friends, and acquaintances. Number 4, a friendly alliance with one or more persons who will encourage one to follow through with both plan and purpose. So, how simple is that when he breaks it down? That's how you develop persistence. Be very clear on what you want, develop a plan, close your mind to the naysayers, which I think that's probably the biggest one. You know, how many times, especially if you've got big dreams and plans, the people around you, the people who are supposed to be your loved ones, saying, "Well, that will never work. This won't happen." You know, because most people think because they can't do it that you can't do it. But maybe if you've got a burning desire enough and a plan of action, points 1 and 2, then you will be able to do it. And number 4, a friendly alliance, as in like a mentor, an encourager, a champion, and that's what you need to develop persistence. So, you know, having read this, it seems easy, right? Whereas if I'd have said to you 5 minutes ago, how do you develop persistence? I don't know, how do you? You wouldn't probably have had a clue. I wouldn't have. I kind of know how to do it because I think I am fairly persistent by nature, and if you are, then fine, but could you actually put that into words? That's what's so good about this book. Napoleon breaks down a bit intangible concepts into very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I mean, there's hundreds of these all the way through this book. So it's like the 11 major factors of leadership. Can't think of any else. Can't find any others. But anyway, there's loads. So what I wanted to originally talk to you about was this little concept of the 10 mind stimuli, which says that the human mind responds to stimuli through which it may be keyed up to high rates of vibration known as enthusiasm, creative imagination, intense desire, and so forth. The 10 stimuli to which the mind responds most freely are the following. Number 1, the desire for sexual expression. And Napoleon talks on very, very interestingly about that. And this made a lot of sense to me when I read this, because it talks about people with a very high sexual energy and sexual desire and sex drive. The most successful people channel that or transmute that energy into constructive things, and not just, you know, I want to have sex, I'll go and have sex. It's, you know, that's the crudest form of expression. A more productive form of expression is harnessing this sexual energy and putting it into writing a book, sport, dance, music, bringing up your children, whatever. And he says to think about it this way. Imagine a bull that's been neutered, or, you know, whatever it's called, castrated. It loses all its drive, all its kind of rage, doesn't it? And that's sexual energy, and humans are the same. And the best way for us to express that in an intelligent and productive way is to channel our sexual energy into our work and the like. So that's number 1, which I thought was very interesting. Number 2, remember, on mind stimuli. Number 2 is love. So we're stimulated by love. Number 3 is a burning desire for fame, power, or financial gain, i.e. money. Number 4 is music. Number 5 is close friendship between either those of the same sex or those of the opposite sex. Number 6 is a mastermind alliance based on the harmony of 2 or more people who ally themselves for spiritual or temporal advancement. So as in like a little mentor group or a mastermind. He talks a lot about mastermind groups as well. So a group of kind of peers and people who will elevate your mindset to create synergy. Number 7 is mutual suffering, such as that experienced by people who are persecuted. So I guess that kind of brings people together, and you start thinking on a higher plane as a result of this communion, I guess, communion of suffering. That's my thoughts on it anyway. Number 8 is auto-suggestion. So that's things like incantations, say, or rituals of saying positive things to yourself, positive self-talk, used a lot in sports psychology, I'm going to win, psyching yourself up, all that kind of stuff. Number 9 is fear, so that can stimulate your mind, obviously. And number 10 is narcotics and alcohol, and Napoleon says that the last 2 or 3, fear, narcotics and alcohol, are the unproductive ones, and all the others are in their own ways productive and natural. So this, so I wanted to give you this little list, because if at some point, I don't know, maybe you're struggling to be creative, maybe you're trying to write an article, maybe you're a bit stuck in a rut with your work, maybe you're feeling bored or whatever, then really you only need to tap into one of these 10 things, preferably not narcotics and alcohol, which is the choice of most people, or a lot of people in our society. Try and tap into one of the others, like music. Music elevates your mind, doesn't it? I've got some classical music on now. It enhances your mind, doesn't it, and your thinking. Obviously, love. How many people are motivated and inspired by like a spouse or partner? And oftentimes, or a lot of times, people who are really successful, on their way to success, they were inspired by a partner, but then sometimes they can lose sight of that once they get all this success and fame, and then drop the original person that inspired them, and then they kind of wane in their success. So that's about it, really. It's getting late and I'm getting tired, and I'm sure you're getting restless now. So thanks very much for listening. I shall bring you another book another day. And in the meantime, if you like these videos, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're in any way looking to start or enhance a passive income online, or utilise social media for business, then go to my website, which is iBrandboost.com, and there'll be more helpful information. So bye for now. I'll speak to you again soon.